What's going on, mi gente? It's Diegomontalvan, back to talk a little bit about, I guess, what everyone's been talking about, right? The BYRON Castillo case, the Ecuadorian who supposedly falsified his documents. So I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about what happened, who's accusing who of what, what's the accusations, even possible punishments, which, by the way, would probably all be assumptions because let's be honest, that all depends on what FIFA says tomorrow. Today is Thursday, June 9th. On Friday, June 10th, FIFA will give their communication of what they have decided on this case. So let's get to it and let's give a brief explanation of what's happened, all right? But first, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. All right, so Chile accuses Ecuador of fielding an ineligible player, BYRON Castillo. From there, Chile sent documentation to FIFA, right? Registry documents, birth certificates. They're accusing that these documents were falsified. They say he was born in Colombia and that he's 3 years older than what he actually is. Chile demands that those matches that BYRON Castillo played in be forfeited. Now, under FIFA ruling, that would be the case. Under FIFA rules, if a team fields an ineligible player, those games would be forfeited, right? That's under FIFA ruling. Now, the thing is this. There's a lot of teams that would be involved. The only teams that wouldn't really be involved in those forfeitures would be Peru and Colombia because BYRON Castillo never played against neither of the two. Ecuador has reiterated that Castillo is an eligible player. They followed all protocols. Let's back it up a little bit and remember that Ecuador already investigated BYRON Castillo. This was back in when he was playing with the U20s, with the under-20s in 2019. He was investigated because this had already been brought up. Because of that, he wasn't able to play with any of Ecuador's national teams, U20, U23s, etc., etc. In April 2021, it was finally decided and confirmed that he had Ecuadorian nationality. The case went to court in Ecuador. Ecuador even asked FIFA for approval before finally deciding to call him up to the senior squad. Because BYRON Castillo, there's no doubt about it. He's got talent. Obviously, he's made the national team, but there was a doubt about his birth certificate, about his registration. So this has been going on for a while. Ecuador finally get approval from the courts in Ecuador. They finally go to FIFA, and FIFA approves it. So Ecuador finally call him up, and I believe he played in 8 of the qualifier matches, the conmebol qualifier matches on the road to World Cup. So it's already been looked at. And that's where my doubt comes in, right? Because if it's already been looked at in Ecuador, FIFA already had known about this. What is there that's new, right? And I think that's where everyone is like, wait, what's going on? What did Chile find? FIFA then said, after receiving Chile's documentations, we're going to look at the case. They even asked Ecuador and Peru to see if they had anything to say. Obviously, Ecuador's been saying, no, we have nothing to say. He's eligible. We have proof. There's documentation. Here's everything that happened throughout this time. Peru, on the other hand, said, we're not going to say anything. We're going to kind of stay out of it in the back. The reason why Peru was asked is probably because they're in 5th place. They have to play el repechaje, which is next Monday. So could it affect them? We'll get to that in a sec. Now, after that, so they asked them to give their position on the matter. Like I said, Peru said, no, we'd rather keep our mouths quiet and get ready, prepare for el repechaje. Potential punishments. Like I said, under FIFA ruling, if a squad plays an ineligible player, those will count as forfeits. If that was the case, then, well, we'd have to subtract and add 3 points here and there from different squads. If Ecuador and the player, BYRON Castillo, were found guilty, then I could see why they would be taken out of the World Cup and BYRON Castillo's suspension. If the player is only found guilty and not the federation, then I can just see, well, Ecuador goes to the World Cup, maybe pays a fine, while BYRON Castillo gets suspended and possible fine. If Ecuador is out, there's two scenarios that I see. One, we already have the table and we have seen how it's set up, right? Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, Chile. If Ecuador is out, you slide up Peru to 4th and Colombia to 5th, right? That would be a logical thing to do. But Chile is fighting for the points. So let's say if Chile gets their way, then while you subtract all the points that Ecuador won or got while BYRON Castillo was playing, and that would mean, after all the math is done, that Chile would move into 4th place, Peru stays in 5th place, etc., etc. If they find that everything is clear, then everything would stay as is, right? I think the biggest doubts here is, like I said, on one side, Ecuador, the federation, the country, the courts have already looked at this case since 2019. He finally got proved that he had Ecuadorian citizenship in 2021 before he got called up, right? So that's why for me it's like, wait, Ecuador's already got this solid, right? On one side. On the other side, playing devil's advocate here, you think about Chile's case and you're like, wait, what documentation did they find, right? We haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. And to me, what kind of got to me was the fact that FIFA said, all right, let's open up the case and look at it again. So in that scenario, it leaves you thinking, like, what's going on? What did they find that FIFA's saying, all right, I'm going to look at this case again? The other thing that is not being mentioned a lot is the fact that conmebol and FIFA have until a certain date for you to make complaints about anything that happened during the qualifiers. Chile, by the time they complained and send the complaints and send the documentation to FIFA, it was already past the due date. Which means, why are we looking at this, right? Again, like I said, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of question marks regarding this case. All I can say is we'll see. I know that there was already speculation and reports that Ecuador was out of the World Cup. No, as of right now, on Thursday, June 9th, no, that is not the case. We will see as of tomorrow, Friday, June 10th, what FIFA decides to do, right? First of all, what FIFA says. Who's guilty, who's not, is everything fine? And then from there, we'll see if there's any punishments or not. I hope that this clarifies a little bit. I hope that you guys understand this a little bit better. There will be more to talk about, obviously, tomorrow once that decision is made by FIFA. For now, thank you guys. Hope you comment, like, subscribe. See you guys.